At 7, Governor Aiyedatiwa visits Ondo City following flash floods that rendered many homeless. Southwest APC leaders converge for 2024 assembly, emphasize place of unity in driving economy. Terrorists kill 9 casino security operatives in a fresh attack. And from the foreign scene, Israeli strike kills another Hamas commander, wife, 2 daughters. Thank you very much for joining us tonight on the news at 7 on Osrc television. My name is Oyewumi Ayinigbara. Ondo State government has sympathized with the Oshimawe of Ondo, Oba Victor Kiladijo, and people of Ondo Kingdom on the flash floods that occurred in some parts of the community. This is just as Governor Lucky Aiyedatiwa has ordered the evacuation of the affected areas and rapid response of the government to halt further damages. According to a statement by its Chief Press Secretary, the government had put every necessary machinery in place to avert the possible flood as predicted by NAMET. Reports also have it that amphibians are deployed into critical erosion-prone areas in the state for dredging. The statement also adds that the amphibious evacuator has been working in Ondo City in the past 2 weeks, precisely in Laje and Okeodunwo, the areas identified as the most critical erosion-prone locations, while the amphibious evacuator excavator had also carried out dredging activities in Akure, Igbokoda, and Ore. Meanwhile, Ondo State government has again warned residents to desist from flooding the building code to avoid disasters. Governor Lucky Aiyedatiwa, during an assessment of the level of damage by the flood in Ondo City and environs, said government would take decisive decisions on such development. Government House correspondent Zimo Ebiemi has the details as the report is presented from our studios.
Rains have always been a source of blessing to mankind, but the one witnessed on Friday in Ondo City and environs led to flash floods. While property worth millions of naira were destroyed, scores were rendered homeless as major streets in the ancient town were affected. Areas affected include Laje Road, Ife Road, Lisaluwa, Fumbi-Fagun, and Itanla. Assessing the level of damage, Governor Lucky Aiyedatiwa sympathized with the victims and warned against lack of respect for rules and regulations guiding building construction. The governor, represented by the Permanent Secretary Office of the Deputy Governor, Mr. Idowu Ojo, appealed to residents to desist from building on waterways and stop dumping of refuse at inappropriate locations.
Actually, we are here to assess the situation and see how government can intervene. SEMA is we are an international agency, so definitely I know government will intervene. And government will provide support for those that are affected. And that's why we are here. So we are here to assess the situation. I will go back to our chairman, who is deputy governor, who will adequately brief the governor on the situation of things and what can be done for the people.
Some of the residents described the situation as man-made and appealed to government to demolish structures not appropriately situated so as to avoid future occurrence.
I've been experiencing this thing for a very long time, but at least for the past 5 years now, it has not been happening. But the one that happened yesterday was terribly bad, to the extent that everybody living in this environment, they were forced to bring out because of the sudden the rain.
It's too bad. The fraud is too bad. It's really bad.
Others said culverts in the area should be reconstructed to accommodate the volume of erosion in the area.
Because we know that it's the village that it caused so many things that happen, even though that yesterday it spoiled a lot of things.
Assistant to Governor on Emergency Response, Oriade Adebanwo, appealed to residents to inculcate the habit of proper waste disposal to prevent future occurrence, which he warned may be more devastating.
The President, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, says the role of unity and togetherness in driving the nation's overall development and economic prosperity of the people cannot be overstated. At the 2024 APC Southwest Assembly held in Lagos, Tinubu, who reassured Nigerians of brighter days ahead, stressed the need for all Nigerians to play their roles in surmounting the current economic challenges facing the nation. Ondo State Governor Lucky Aiyedatiwa advocated the need to promote youth empowerment at all levels while improving efforts to boost food sufficiency. Other speakers, including Chairman of the Southwest Governors Forum and Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu, Chairman of APC in the region Isaac Kekemeke, APC National Secretary Ajibola Bashiru, Senator Payemi Bamidele, and Governor Biodo Ibanji noted the need for Nigerians to be resolute and unite at these challenging times.
In our state, our youth should be encouraged and empowered more. Because we think that any nation, the youth are occupying a very, very significant position in everything we are doing. And also, agriculture also should be further encouraged, because the problem we are facing right now in this country is that issues that we are facing. Only so, let me just quickly say, as we continue in our individual lives to develop ourselves, and also working so hard at our various states to develop our states, having the entire region in mind, we should also rally support.
For complaining this assembly is not too far-fetched. It is a need to appraise our party, the APC in the zone, to know how we have fared, how well we are faring, project our future, and apply the strategy for the future we collectively envision. At this point, I want to, on behalf of the Southwest Caucus of the party, congratulate Mr. President on his victory at the 2023 general elections. Mr. President deserves our commendation and his support for the rare courage, single-mindedness, and unwavering commitment to tackling head-on the maladies that have bedeviled our nation's progress and development. We all pray and are very hopeful that very soon the Nigerian people will begin to enjoy the benefits of these unprecedented efforts.
But today, we have a chance, not just as a party, but also an opportunity as a people to address and to retrace our steps so that the path and the rebirth of our region can be on a forward trajectory.
Mr. President has asked me to remind you all that he is the President of Nigeria, not he is of Southwest extraction. And every politician has a base. This is Mr. President's base. He knows it, he sees it, he realizes it, he acknowledges it, and he will not lose his base. He has asked for your support in these trying times, and I promise him that I will convey this message to each and every one of us, that we will continue to support Mr. President. We will continue to support him in all he's doing, wherever he is, and all the work he has put.
And as Ondo State goes to the polls in less than 4 to 5 days to choose who will occupy the office of the governor for another term of 4 years, the ruling All Progressives Congress in the state is gearing up for the flag-off of its campaign to canvass support from the electorate. Osrc's Joy Pius, in an interface with the Publicity Secretary of the party, said the stage is set for the APC to openly communicate its manifesto to the people across Ondo State.
In less than 45 days from now, Ondo State electorates will file out to vote for the candidates of their choice in the November 16 governorship election. The electorate had longed for the commencement of open campaign which had been missing in the build-up to the election, notwithstanding the wide window provided for political campaigns by the Electoral Act 2022. However, the All Progressives Congress appears set for its campaign after putting plans in place for a successful public engagements. The publicity secretary of the APC, Alex Kalejaye, explained that the first hurdle of constituting a committee have been crossed.
For the campaign, we just perfected our list. The first thing is to draw up a list of credible party men and women who will now break into subcommittees, submit budget, and the campaign will kick off in full swing. So that is the stage we are now. The list is now ready to be announced. Once it's announced and the various committees are constituted, of course, we will hit the ground running.
The economic realities in the country is what political parties ascribed to the careful approach to open campaigns. Notwithstanding this, the APC publicity secretary says the party does not disregard the electorate and will solicit their votes.
The APC-led government at the federal level is working to ensure we put the hardship behind us. Well, in Ondo State, thank God we have a governor that is yearning for development, economic prosperity of the people, and that's informed what the policies he has been churning out in the past few weeks. The APC has structures across all the 18 local government, not only the local government at the local government level, the ward level, the unit level, we have structures. So we only need to campaign to meet the people, because we don't want to appear taking people for granted. We appeal to their votes, and of course, judging from what we have done, they will give us their votes.
According to Kalejaye, the APC campaign timetable will be released next week. Joy Pius, Osrc News.
Ondo State Governor Lucky Aiyedatiwa has been honored with an award of Awokoshe Rere of Yoruba Land by the Oodua Youth Coalition Group. Receiving the award at the annual public lecture of the group held in Ado-Ekiti, Governor Aiyedatiwa said his administration will continue to promote culture and tourism to boost socio-economic prospects. Government House correspondent Zimo Ebiemi asked the rest of the story as presented from our studios.
The Oodua Youth Coalition public lecture with the theme Teaching and Learning of Science in Yoruba, How Feasible, seeks to provide answers on ways science subjects can be taught in Yoruba for the comprehension of the students. Governor Lucky Aiyedatiwa, who was represented by the Deputy Chief of Staff attached to the office of the Deputy Governor, Dr. Kola Falu, said Yoruba language must be preserved and not allowed to go into extinction for the sake of younger generations.
This annual lecture, organized by Oodua Youth Coalition, is in partnership with the Institute of Cultural Studies of Akemi Awolowo University, OAU Ilé-Ifẹ̀. It's a right step in the right direction in closing an age-long gap that many Africans have been clamoring for over the years. Without sounding parochial, the standard of education in Nigeria today may not have declined this much. Have we included in the curriculum the use of indigenous language for teaching in the classroom?
According to the governor, his administration would continue to propagate cultural values and ethics, especially among the youths, to build an egalitarian society.
The attention must be given to the use of Yoruba language the way we give it to Hausa, Fulfulde, Igbo, and all other native languages in the training of our young ones, especially in science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. We must understand that our first language, which is called N1, is so powerful in our daily lives.
The guest lecturer from Obafemi Awolowo University, Ile-Ife, Dr. Temitope Jayoba, said the dream is achievable if all stakeholders could come together to make Yoruba language more relevant.
Development of the Yoruba arithmetic learning system will help bridge the gap between between the North Yoruba traditions of transaction and modern-day business activities. This Elujura is one of us in computer department. They have been trying to use Yoruba to write some computer programs.
The national president, Odua Youth Coalition, Tayo Oluyi, thanked Governor Aiyedatiwa for his determination to preserve culture in schools and government institutions.
The importance and the reason rationale behind what we're doing today is the fact that we consider the fact that Yoruba language is going into extinction, and then we feel it is imperative that as young people we should stand in the gap.
High point of the event was the presentation of awards to eminent Nigerians who have contributed to the preservation of Yoruba language and culture in the society.
You're still watching Osrc News at 7. After the break, terrorists kill 9 Katsina security operatives in fresh attack. Please do rejoin us for this and more. Thank you very much for staying there. You can watch us live on our website www.osrc.ng or follow us on Facebook at Osrc TV, and on YouTube you can subscribe to our channel Osrc TV Ondo. The Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) has encouraged youth to actively participate in the next month's governorship election in Ondo State. During an interface with their representatives in Akure, stakeholders harped on the need to be involved in electoral processes and promote peaceful and credible election. Abidemi Akinrutoye has more.
With the aim of fostering a peaceful and electoral process ahead of the November governorship election, a one-day engagement was convened for youths in the state. The engagement sought to educate, motivate, and mobilize youths to take ownership of the electoral process. Deputy Director, Gender and Inclusivity Department, Abibat Jato, highlighted the objectives of the youth inclusivity during electoral process.
It is an inclusive election we are trying to conduct. So that is why we are meeting the youth today, and we are meeting them today. As you can see, they are head of identify each youth groups. So we are expecting that whatever they got from this our meeting today, they can cascade the information so that it will go around. It's not possible to gather all the youths.
Head of Voter Education and Publicity in the Commission, Olutoye Shafuddin, emphasized the place of the youth in ensuring credible electoral process, calling on them to embrace peace before, during, and after the election.
People should show interest and come out to vote. Their vote will count. That is certain. But election again will come and go. We don't want violence. People should be peaceful, because before elections we were friends. After elections we'll still be friends. So if Mr. A and Mr. B are friends, the fact that Mr. A belongs to a party and Mr. B belongs to another party, politics is not a do or die affair. After elections they will still meet as friends. So the pledge is they should, as much as possible, eschew violence.
The State Resident Electoral Commissioner, Oluwatoyin Babalola, emphasized the need for the youth to take ownership of their civic responsibilities towards ensuring that they play their part appropriately in the task of building the nation.
Enhance your participation in the electoral process by utilizing the upcoming governorship election as a platform to make your perspective known and your impact felt. This can be achieved with your active engagement in the various electoral processes. You will help the Commission to deepen our democracy and contribute to making the forthcoming election more inclusive.
The engagement was rounded off with a call on the general public for sustained participation, as well as contributing to peaceful, free, fair, and credible governorship election. Abidemi Akinrotoye, OSRC News.
The capital city as voters searched endlessly for where to cast their votes in the ongoing local government election. Newsmen who went round town and visited some polling units in major areas of the state capital between 10 in the morning and 1 in the afternoon observed that there was no sign of electoral materials available. In some of the polling units visited, there were no electoral officers or election materials, just as voters claimed that they were asked to move to the ward headquarters to exercise their franchise. The election was supposed to commence by 8 in the morning, and by 1:30 in the afternoon, the presiding officer said he was yet to receive the materials. And also in Akwa Ibom State, hoodlums have set the Akwa Ibom State Independent Electoral Commission office on fire. The State Police Command confirmed the attack, leaving many to wonder if this is a deliberate attempt to disrupt the local government elections. The police public relations officer, Timfon John, revealed that hoodlums orchestrated the fire, but the electoral materials remained untouched and the election continued as scheduled. He added that security has been beefed up at all electoral offices and strategic locations across the state to prevent further sabotage. Terrorists have reportedly killed no fewer than 9 Katsina State Community Watch Corps and vigilante members in Faraki and Matazu local government areas of the state. Faskari and Matazu are said to be among the frontline local government areas bedeviled by the activities of terrorists in Katsina State. Reports say the hoodlums in their separate attacks ambushed the state security operatives, killing 4 members of the Community Watch Corps who were working to maintain security in the region. That Shuaibu Labo, Muhammad Azan, Mubarak Shuaibu, and an unidentified officer. It was also learned that while at the funeral held in Faskari, a community leader, Adamu Yaro, praised the fallen officers, describing their death as honorable since they died while defending the public, and expressed worry about the government's inaction in addressing the reoccurring insecurity in the area. And now we move to the foreign scene. Palestinian militant group Hamas says an Israeli strike has killed one of its commanders in a refugee camp in North Lebanon. It was the first time the area had been hit since the start of the Gaza war. Saeed Atala Ali, his wife, and 2 daughters were killed in Zionist bombardment of his house in the Bedawi camp near the northern city of Tripoli. Israel has repeatedly targeted Hamas officials in Lebanon since the Gaza war erupted almost a year ago. Hamas has announced the death of at least 18 of its militants in Lebanon since then. The group said an airstrike also killed its leader in Lebanon, Fatah Sharif Abu Alamin, in his home in the Albas camp in South Lebanon. Israel's year-long war on Gaza captured the world's attention with more than 1 million people displaced, more than 41,000 Palestinians killed, and much of the strip lying in ruins. But in that time, hostilities of Israel's northern border with the Lebanese group Hezbollah have increased, and they have now spilled over into full-blown conflicts. Aderonke Kolawole completes the story. Moving on, President Joe Biden has announced $45 million in assistance for Helen survivors. Hurricane Helen is the second deadliest storm to hit the U.S. mainland in half a century. Its runs is concentrated in at least 3 battleground states and has left hundreds of people dead, with damages worth billions of dollars. Blessing Obi has more. And with that story, we conclude the news tonight, but before we go, a quick look at the major stories. We told you that Governor Ayedatiwa has visited Ondo City for an on-the-spot assessment of the flash floods that rendered many homeless, with a warning to desist from building on waterways. We also told you that Southwest APC leaders have converged for 2024 Assembly with emphasis on the place of unity in driving the economy. We also brought to you a report that terrorists have killed 9 Katsina security operatives in a fresh attack. And finally, from the foreign scene, Israeli strike has killed another Hamas commander alongside his wife and 2 daughters. That's the news tonight. Thank you very much for your time. Good evening.